The Layla Show. The Layla Show.
Welcome to another week of The Layla Show, where we build a conscious community one conversation at a time. With your host, me, Layla Ziari, coming at you with weekly episodes every Friday featuring guests from all over the world and so many different industries, sharing their stories, experience, tales, laughing, loving, and just vibing out.
Welcome back to another week of The Layla Show. I'm your host, Layla Ziari, and this week we have Jenna, I don't know how to pronounce Ewing?
It's Ewing, like Dallas.
Ewing! And she's an astrologer, and we're just gonna jump right into our chat with Jenna. I'm so happy to have you. As you know, we're Mercury retrograding, and both of our devices like shit themselves before we recorded this episode. So
They did. We were really in it. It was very touch and go if we were going to have this conversation. But I feel like it really helps us like connect and just like get right into it. So I'm actually kind of grateful for that.
Grateful too. She's either gonna be really cool about this or like not, and I'm gonna like.
Sorry, I've got places to be.
Yeah.
Can we just?
Can we move this along? Well, we made it, and Mercury hasn't taken us out yet, so that's good. And welcome. So, first, let me just ask you, how long have you been astrologying?
So I have been astrologying. I love the way you just put that. Professionally for about 2 years, but my journey has been about 3 years ago now is when I first had my birth chart read.
Okay.
And that is when like my mind kind of got blown and this big like portal, like doorway opened into like I've always been intrigued by astrology, like, and knew my star sign and all of that. But I'd never heard of like having what your birth chart was. I didn't know about having it read or anything like that. And it was actually a present, like as you're just scrolling on Instagram and you're just lost in it. And someone was basically on stories. They're like, oh, I've had my birth chart read and blah, 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 blah. And I just thought, what the hell is that? And that will be a really good gift for my mother-in-law because she's quite witchy and like into that, and I thought, perfect, great. But like I felt as soon as I bought that for her, I also felt a bit of an intuitive pull of like, I feel like this is for me. I don't know why, but I need to work out what the hell, like I need to know what this is. And then 6 months later, I had my birth chart read and literally like, it's like the lights came back on for me. Because when I had my birth chart read, I was sorry, I'm just going down a whole memory lane, but
I love it.
where I was in terms of my life, when I had that birth chart reading, I was kind of a bit of a shell of myself, really. I was quite lost. I've got 2 daughters, and at the time, one was 3, one was 6 months old, and I was just kind of lost very much. I didn't know who I actually was at that point. And I connected with this wonderful astrologer, and she was telling me things about myself that I couldn't quite believe she was telling me about myself. Like, as in, she was telling, I've forgotten this, but she told me that I'd make a great coach. And so she was telling me these things about myself. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I can swear, can't I?
Oh, please.
Yeah, obviously. Sorry. That's like a silly question.
My mouth is like fuck, fuckity, fuck, but
Okay, bye. But she was telling me things about myself that I just couldn't receive. I couldn't believe what she was saying to me. But I also knew it to be true. Like something inside of me was like, yeah she's right. Like there's, So, and that's what I mean about like the lights kind of came back on inside. And also I, at that point, had already, like, all I knew was that I was a Leo star sign. I had no idea that I had a moon sign, a rising sign, all of these other planets in my chart, and she just blew my mind. And then, it just kind of, I guess it was the catalyst for many things, but like big life shifts was leaving my 9-to-5 job. I was like a PA before, left my marriage, manifested a flat, like just all of these, and then became an astrology coach. Like all of the like big
Big things, like all the big things at once. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
100%.
I love that.
Yeah, and so I've just been doing it ever since, and I really feel like it's been a real remembering for me. Like I know that I've been an astrologer before, or I've definitely like been in some sort of capacity, because it yeah, it feels like a remembering. And your birth chart, for me, my belief is that you chose all of the placements in your birth chart. Like you chose them. You kind of come down here for the human experience, and you chose to have this, like you're like a sun sign Taurus, aren't you? Aries moon, Aquarius rising. Like you chose this mix.
I mean, I feel like, yes, I chose this because I'm obsessed with everything that is in my chart. So like, yeah.
Also, can I just, like, as I was so I looked at your chart about half an hour before.
Good.
And then I was looking at the description of your podcast, like where we connected, and it was expanding minds, and that like that really stuck in my mind, and then elevating consciousness. And I was like, that for me is so
Aquarian.
So Aquarian, but also, like, do you know that you have a Sagittarius North Node?
I do, but like, see, this is where I don't like, I forget what these mean. Like, I love astrology, and I've dabbled into like, I've read I have a whole printout of everything about myself, and I
love it.
You know, where the house is and stuff. I don't like it. Because my brain doesn't remember. It doesn't care. If I read it, I get excited and then I forget. So
and it's a lot. And part of me is like, I know that I've done this before, because those kind of things really stay with me, and it's like, because I feel like I've done it so many times before. But the thing I love about, so you have this Sagittarius North Node. So so everybody has a North Node. I'm sorry, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Everybody has. I'm just like jumping in. I'm like, no context.
What the fuck is our North Node? Wait, isn't there like a North Node and a True Node? What?
There's so there's a North Node and a South Node. I think if you look at your if you bring up your birth chart on astro.com, I think there's like a key. I think it comes up with True Node.
Okay.
Essentially, your North Node is like it's like a kind of North Star. It's like where your soul is exactly. It's where your soul is really choosing to grow towards this lifetime. Yeah. So you have a North Node, that's where you're growing towards, and you have the South Node. And with that, your South Node is like what you come in with. So like through like past lives, it's kind of like all your karmic baggage in a way that you're bringing with you into this lifetime.
What's my South Node in?
So your South Node will be Gemini. Okay. So that's kind of it's actually, no, I can't tell you that bit yet because I don't know the house, and I don't want to kind of go into like, but I'll go back and
all over the place like you. Okay,
I love it. But that is actually kind of Gemini vibe, because Gemini is like very in the mind, and it's like this. Oh no, but that bit, and oh my God, come back to here and
fucking me. That is me. I don't know. Yeah. I blame Aquarius, but
that is very that's Gemini energy, and that is kind of like some of that is what you're bringing from like past lives, but it is also like, you know, it's also your gifts and things that come quite naturally to you. So Gemini also, yes, it is like this over there, blah, 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 but it's also like you have so many ideas and you're really curious and you want to have conversations.
I can't exactly. I can't rein myself in. I don't care how much I grow wiser with time and learn my little lessons and do the damn thing. No, it never fucking stops. Okay, my brain is like rapidly going down the curiosity rabbit hole, and I can't fucking pick a lane. I can't stay in a lane. I don't ever stay in a fucking lane. And like sometimes it's annoying because I look at all these people and they're like, I have a lane, and I'm like, hi, I'm Layla. I have 27,000 lanes and I don't intend to ever pick one.
So that is kind of this like South Node like energy then, right? So what you as a soul are growing towards this lifetime is the more kind of Sagittarius of like, do you know what I am like? Sagittarius it's all about expansion, coming back to like what you were saying in your podcast, the tagline, expanding minds. That is so Sagittarius to me. It's because it's like expansion of mind, but also expansion of like your horizons. It's like adventure and travel, but it's also like I am just like craving the truth of like what is the meaning of things?
Right.
Like,
I
you know
fucking
what?
love them. I need to be like philosophical and I need to have the meaning and I need to discuss the fact that none of us know the fucking meaning, like
Yeah, no,
perpetually.
no, no. Yeah.
Perpetually. Like that's my whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And that is and so your North Node is very much in that mindset. And it's also your North Node is in your 10th house, which is all about career. It's all about how I show up in society. It's all about like the legacy you're kind of here to create this lifetime and grow towards.
Okay, I want to shake some shit up. I want to break walls
Yeah.
down. I want to fuck with
Uh-huh.
people's heads and stuff. Like I like that. I like being, I've been a catalyst to so many people's lives. They're like, I met you, something about your energy ruined my whole life, but made it better. Like that's a lot of pressure.
Because and also the other thing that's wild is that we're obviously having this conversation, and we've just literally had a Sagittarius new moon. Do you follow the lunar cycle?
Yesterday.
Do you like do you work with new and full moon? Yeah. I was just like, oh, that's interesting, because I didn't know that we were going, when you on the calendar thing and
you just like
dates or whatever. I was like, oh, that works. And I was like, okay, of course we're like chatting on a Sagittarius new moon, and she's Sagittarius, and like that moon, when it went into a new moon, it was literally on top of your North Node, like it was kind of activating it. So you should do some new moon intentions. If you do that. Yeah.
I've been like doing a lot of intentions lately because making big life changes again, and I'm like manifesting right now, mostly intending on what the fuck my apartment looks like because I need one. But,
Oh, you said you're right. Yeah.
I'm intending a lot, right? Like all my whole life is like intentions at the moment because I'm like creating an entire new existence as I do every time I go somewhere new. I just I reinvent every single aspect of myself in my life. So I'm doing that right now again for the 88,000th time, and it's kind of fun. I mean, it's always never not been fun. I guess that's why I always do it. So, but there's been a lot of intentions, like more so than any other time during this year, because I feel like 2024 for me was like a fuck off and chill year because I was like not sure on anything, and until I was sure on anything, I don't like to act until I will not act on something until like the passion and the desperation in my soul to have that is so intense that it would kill me not to do it. You know what I mean? Like I need that intensity or like life's not worth it. So when I don't have it like that clear and like that pull and like that passion behind it, I'll just sit and like wait. So that's yeah. So most of my year was like that, but like
Kind of like that. It's kind of like
back.
I like that because it's kind of like two interesting energies, because it's like the kind of fiery, like passionate, like that, do you know what I mean, which can be quite fast, or it feels to me like it can be quite fast, but you're like, no, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna wait until it kind of feels right. I kind of like that.
That's kind of like my Taurus Aries though, because
yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say, because you have this Taurus sun, which is Taurus is all about, right, okay, grounded, I'm just gonna kind of take my time, I'm gonna chill a little bit, like
which has been a hard energy for me my whole life. Like what I just said to you right now about taking my time, as if I've been doing that forever. Let me be clear. This is the first time in my life I've ever taken time and been patient, because I think I finally fucking learned how to integrate that energy into my life. Because before, my Taurus was like overindulgence and just like the Venusian like devour everything beautiful, and that was the only part of Taurasian energy like I had within me. And then like the grounded one was just not fucking here because my Aries ran the fucking show. But I feel like this year we've got a little more Taurus in that, and we're like, maybe we should access a little bit of the patience, because impulsivity, Layla, has only gotten you so far.
Yeah. How do you find, because and also it's interesting because your Taurus sun, so that kind of grounded, like kind of slower pace, is in your third house, and third house is, for me, a lot of to do with all communications. Like again, it's that Gemini energy, but you've got an Aries. You've got an Aries moon, but right next to, what did I say? Right next to your moon, you've got Mercury, so the planet of communication. So yeah, they're kind of, it's exactly what you're saying. Really, it's like this.
I feel it in my
Oh,
brain and in my soul. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm not slow with I think, well, this podcast is also like a very interesting thing with that too, because I'm not like the Taurus like I am communicating in Aries. Like I will spit shit out of my mouth so passionately and just like recklessly, and then sometimes I listen back and I'm like, that's not actually what I meant to say by that per se. Like if I'd slowed my ass down, like, but like I'll just go and then be like, like so passionately about that it comes out in like this extreme way instead of like what I mean to say is more usually like on a soul level. I feel very inclusive and very like not, but like when I
yes.
talk, it's like direct. It's like an attack sometimes. Like it's so fucking
It's Aries.
yeah. I'm telling you, the Aries reigns. Like it dominates my entire life.
It's interesting though, is and this is why my belief with birth charts and the way I look at them is that but you chose to give yourself that Taurus sun.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and so what? Like that, there's leaning into that more, and even if it's just like, because one, amazing, you have an awareness of that, because some people don't have an awareness of that, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, why did I give myself that?
So that I
Like,
would
what?
live past 29. To be completely honest, I'm 31. I would have died. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have made it till 30 without that Taurus. And that's when it started kicking in on my 30th birthday because I was like, literally, I'm not going to live through the year without this shit. Like, there's
Well,
just.
and also you would have been going through your Saturn return.
Yeah. I don't think I would have made it without like some integration of that Taurus. I would be like in a hospital bed right now or dead. I'm not even trying to be dramatic, like really
Yeah.
that sure that the impulse like the Aries was trying to take my ass out.
Yeah. You've got significant your moon, is you've also got Venus, planet of love, relationships, values in Aries as well.
Mm. That's
it's
not
kind of
done me any favors. So.
how do you talk to me about like you've got Taurus sun, and then you've got Aries moon, and then you've got Aquarius rising. Like how do you kind of vibe with the Aquarius like
Oh, I
energy?
think it's my whole personality, like in a way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I act on my Aries, but like the weird, quirky, like intellectual, philosophical side of my life is I feel like very Aquarian. And like I also feel like the way I view the world when I'm not in my like I mean, obviously I'm very passionate and like heart forward, but also like not. Like I have a very ability to be cold hearted and detached and not like in a mean way, but just
No, well, that's Aquarius.
just like I don't really care. Like I can see everything from the higher perspective and like none of it matters on an emotional level. And I feel like it's very easy to like literally take my little avatar out of here and be like, this is why this works and this is why this goes here and this is how all of it comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how my Aquarius kind of comes into play. Also
Yeah.
like saving grace because otherwise my emotions would be like when my emotions run the show, it is not good. It's never been good because that Aries, I'm telling you, it's the Aries. The Aries is like the fucking death of me, but also like probably my favorite thing. Like I love that energy, but it's also like it's a lot, and I have a lot of it. So I feel like yeah.
Have you looked at or have you like so for me as well, the important thing about your moons, so if you for anyone, I don't know if your listeners know a ton about astrology,
Some
but
do, some don't.
yeah, so your birth chart is this astrological map of you, right? So it's not just your sun, moon, rising. There is like loads of planets and like layers upon layers that you can kind of go into to get insight on you. My belief is that you chose all of those placements within your birth chart. But your big three, which is kind of like a starting point to like you looking at your birth chart, is so your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. So your sun is like really it's like your essence, it's your personality. It's kind of like when you're in that energy. So for you, when you're in that Taurus energy, that actually for me is like what really lights you up and makes you shine and can make you quite magnetic when you're in that. So it's important to really actually like kind of embody that sun sign energy. Your moon is the more internal part. So that Aries moon is like I need this. It's almost like I need to kind of be nurtured in this way. And I kind of see the moon sign almost, because moon is like linked to mother, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like moon is kind of like a bit like an inner child. So when you think about an Aries moon, it's like, okay, so Aries is fiery, right? It's the first sign of the zodiac. There is I need to feel important. I need to feel like I'm number one.
100%.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but it's interesting. And for those who, discover their moon sign, like, were my moon sign needs met when I was a child?
No.
So it's like, it's just like
Why I act like a 5-year-old most of the time.
But and
I'm aware of
I
it.
think but it's kind of an invitation to be compassionate, and this is why I feel quite passionate about knowing your children's moon signs, because it can be so, like, say your parents, I don't know your situation, caregivers, they're like, oh, she's a Taurus, but like you have a fiery moon, like, inside of you that needs to feel important. Like, my pictures need to go on the fridge. Like, I need to know that I am.
They did that.
I mean, it's so it's just
I guess I needed more.
Yeah, but that would be important. But as an Aries moon, like, you would have needed that. It's just an invitation, I guess, for like to be reflective about, like, and be compassionate with yourself if you didn't get those moon needs met.
I almost feel like as a parent, you should be required to take astrology classes and know, but like, I know that's like a ridiculous imposition that you can't like force people to learn these things, but I do think it'd be very helpful. I think, I feel like if we all knew more about, I mean, even like even in relationships, I mean, I would never be in a relationship and not know those things about the people, but like, I think about all my life before I like got into astrology or even like spirituality or knowing anything about myself, and how catastrophic all of my relationships were. And it's like, wow, we had no idea how to communicate or relate with each other, and our communication styles were so different. And then like you look at like, now I can look back and be like, oh yeah, like look at your sign, my sign. Like, we were not doing that right.
Yeah. So for me, like, overarching, like, a theme of like one of my, like, what I feel really passionate about, and why I'm just like, right, I really actually feel like this is why I'm here to talk about astrology, is that I really, knowing your birth chart, it's like it's like the biggest self-discovery tool ever 100%. For you, because you put it together, right? And it's something you're going to have for like, it just kind of, you can just keep digging deeper in it. It's not like, oh, I know this. It's like, as you grow, different versions of you will unlock other parts to your birth chart.
Right.
But knowing, like, starting to use your birth chart and then looking at your children's, at your partners, at your friends, it will improve all of your relationships. There are so many parts in there that will just absolutely deepen your relationships. You connect better, you communicate better, you will just love one another better. Like, a couple of months ago, I was doing a course called Connecting with Your Soulmate, and it was just like, you're looking at your chart and you're looking at where your Venus is, how it is that you need to be loved, and actually getting really honest about that. Because how many fucking people are in relationships and they're just not happy in them, and they're settling and they're not actually getting what it is that they need?
No, and how many people don't even know what it is that they need, that they're not saying. Like, there's like me, I'm like very self-aware. Like, at this point, I would know what I'm not getting, and why.
Yeah.
But like, so many people are just unhappy and like don't even know why. Like, if I was unhappy, I would know why. But like, you don't,
Yeah. And like, to take it back to the moon again, like, even just knowing your partner's moon really, like,
I think it's so fucking important.
So important.
I don't even hang out with people a second time unless their birth chart's on my phone. The amount of people I have, their fucking astrogentist or whatever, their astrogent fucking profile, like, I'll go through that shit and be like, who the fuck is this person? Because maybe I didn't see you again, but like, I met you one night and I was like, birth chart.
I love it. I just
so help, like, and like, I mean, you obviously know so much more than I do, but I feel like I do like, because I don't like study all the houses and I know about a lot. Again, I've read every single thing I've read. I have this pamphlet about like the day I was born, and I've read it a million.
I love it.
Doesn't, like I said, doesn't stick in my head, but
But do you find that when you read it, so the things that you need to hear kind of come out in that moment?
100%. Like I've read it 100 times and it's different every single time.
Yeah. 100%. There you go. There you go.
But like I do think as a society it's good because I feel like we never used to know anything. And I feel like 90% of people know their big three nowadays. Like you can ask a person who doesn't fucking know anything about astrology and
It's
know.
becoming more and more. It's 100% becoming more and more just like a cultural thing. Thank fuck.
Like fuck yeah,
Because I really think it's just like so fucking life changing, and the more of us that can beat that drum of like this is significant and it is gonna like the better. I really, really do.
Yeah, like I mean, I think they should teach astrology in school because again, like the problem in our world is lack of communication, lack of being able to relate to one another. And it is like the fundamentals of being able to relate with somebody. Like it because it is. And people can say all they want, I don't believe in astrology. What do you mean? It's the makeup of your entire fucking personality and it tells you exactly why you are the way that you are and explains it to you in a scientifically, planetarily accurate depiction.
Yeah. But it's I guess it's just, I mean, I don't know this to be true, but I just feel like there is so much power in unlocking all of this because it really makes you like, it really helps reveal like your true authenticity and your gifts and why you're fucking here why you're here. And it's a really like it's kind of you taking back your power in a way, and actually it's like do like I don't know who but do you know what I mean? Do they want everyone like knowing
no, they don't.
Power and
obviously the fuck not. That's why nothing in this world works, and we're all fucking miserable cunt buckets on their deathbed. But I mean, no, they don't. Obviously not. That's why we have all these fucked up systems in place that don't make any sense. But astrology, I mean, in a perfect world, we would all know it because I agree with you. I think it's so fucking important. Just because, like, so many of us go through life, like, until you figure it out in one way or another, however the fuck you figure out who you are, everybody's searching to figure out who they are and find meaning in being here. Like, every single person. And everyone wants to understand themselves deeper, like, you know, so like, but we have it. It's right there. You could.
I know. It's just here. You can, and also you can get it for free. Go on astro.com. Go on AstroCharts. It's free. It's a free resource. Like, and also Google. Like, if you're like, oh fuck, I don't know what it means. It's just like it's all there, waiting.
It's all there. It's all, and and like you said, like the more you look into it, like different things resonate at different times, and different things unlock in your. You know, you look at it like after, next year or whatever and be like, wow, okay, well, now we're going.
It's just start with your big three. And I think, but I also, do you know what is also, I found really significant and helpful is, do you know where your Chiron is?
I do.
Do you know what Chiron is?
I mean, it's a wounded healer, right?
It's the the wounded healer. And I just think that is
mine. I'm like,
yes. So yours is in Leo in the 7th house.
Tell me what that means.
So 7th house is relationships, significant relationships. And Leo is like, it's the, I want to be, or for me, like Leo is like, I want to be seen, I want to be adored. Like I need to creatively express myself. Like, I'm a Leo sun. And like 2 years ago, like I was not in my Leo energy. I was like more Cancer, like kind of, everyone else all right, don't look at me. Like, and now I've I'm more embodying that Leo energy. So Chiron is, potentially, if it's in your 7th house, it's potentially what we were talking about earlier. It's like choosing the wrong partners, or choosing partners that aren't don't nourish you, don't see you, don't adore you, don't let you kind of express yourself in the way it is that you don't want to see you shine.
Oh yeah,
like you have to be in a partnership that it was some
no, everybody, I mean, I don't have relationships right now because I genuinely think they're offensive at this point in my life, but like maybe one day. But yeah, everyone I've ever been with before has like deliberately tried to eat my light, and I'm just like, and like not, and like I don't know, like especially like you know, I've been with like narcissists and horrible people, and I'm writing a book just about like all the crazy places I've traveled. So I was really thinking about this relationship hard, and I haven't thought about it in like 8 years. And it's like all you did was just like make sure that you just kept me down and like not shine, but then like yell at me for not shining. But it's like,
Yeah.
so yeah, everybody
So,
has done that.
and again, back to what I was saying before, you gave yourself that Chiron placement.
Right. Well,
So
thank
you
for that.
gave ball.
But like ball of a 20-something year cycle. Like you really had fun with that one.
because you know it's going to sound wanky, but like there are all of that adversity that you've been through. It's all lessons. Like you know
100%.
it's there, and so you've given yourself that for a reason. Because every time you lean into that Chiron placement, that soul's wound, that pain point for you, and you look at it with honesty, it's like that's where the healing, that's where the lessons come. That's where like you're ready to like with your book, and you know
all my greatest lessons have come from like all my catastrophic relationships.
and even just like knowing what that Chiron is there again, it's like, you know, is the awareness. So like mine is in Gemini in the 11th house, which basically means people will find me boring, like I don't make sense, like I don't have I know it's
Like,
it's quite problematic
to me.
but and also but in the 11th house is the kind of groups. It's like for me it's groups, friendships, things like that. So I haven't really, it's taken me a long time to just get comfortable using my voice, saying this is what I believe, this is my opinion on things. So like it literally would have made like me having this conversation with you wouldn't have been possible a couple of years ago. Yeah, so but I know that it's there, so it's like, no, I see you, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like I'm shitting myself, but I'm going to do it anyway. But every time I do that, I know it. But that going back to the you know connecting, you know how it improves relationships and all sorts of things, is like the Chiron is it within that course, because it's like you know your partner knowing your Chiron is there, like, and you know your partner's like this kind of pain point, this soul point, this thing that is a real trigger for me. Like we know each other's, like that is, you know, how can you not, having an awareness of that, like how can that not deepen intimacy in a relationship, knowing that like a soul's wound.
Yeah, my soul's wound is don't dim my light, motherfucker. Let me
let me shine.
Like, part of that is like so funny too, because after I started dating like straight up narcissists, well, maybe I never did, but then I started like dating people in the spotlight, and then I was like, no, like that's never gonna work. Like you can never shine brighter than me, because I'm gonna resent you. I'm gonna hate you, and I'm gonna take it from you. And it's not gonna make sense why people like me and see me more than you, because you're actually maybe on a stage and I'm sitting here on the sidelines, but I don't give a fuck. Like I need to shine.
Yeah, I need to shine.
Which is so crazy, but I've picked partners like that and then been like, I can't do it. Like this is nuts. But like why was I choosing that? I don't know. Now I know I just probably need someone fucking quiet.
I think I don't know you need some, but I think there's something, yeah, you need someone to just like let you shine your absolute brightest, and just want you to just really win, and just to like see you doing it, you know, and really champion that.
Let me win.
Yeah. You've also got Neptune, which is the kind of, you know, they're like the spiritual planet, like linked with Pisces, and it's right next, so it's conjunct, so they're right close together in your birth chart, with the planet Uranus, which is the planet that rules Aquarius. So when they're conjunct, it basically means that like their energies kind of like merged together, like married together. So you've got this I feel, and sorry, I'm just like I'm excited. These two planets are in your 12th house. So you know, I got a real sense of, I mean, I only looked at your chart for half an hour, but like you're awakening people's spirituality, like and they're, you know, having these conversations.
No question.
Yeah. Like, and I was just like looking at you know, again, the description, it's like expanding minds, elevating consciousness. It's like, yeah, no shit, like look at this birth chart.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, one last thing. Also, you're back to the Aquarius rising, and this, what the rising sign means is that, so I used to think, and I still kind of think, yeah, this is a kind of a, I think I do kind of agree with it in some senses, is that your rising sign is almost like the social mask that you wear. Like it's
That's
how,
what they always say, but
yeah,
I hate that. It's like a mask.
yeah,
So I just feel
yeah,
like maybe it is what we show up in social situation, but like I don't like the word mask because
yeah.
associated with it because like there is no evolution I will go through in this lifetime that I do not resonate with my fucking Aquarius and it is not authentic as fuck. So
Yeah.
I keep
Yes. No.
wanting
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say
Yeah.
that.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, because but I know, and I've only really had this shift in like what I feel like it is in the last 2 to 3 months. And that is that your rising sign is who you're ascending. Your rising is also called your ascendant. It's who you're ascending to become. It's like who you're growing. And that now feels truer to me.
Oh, that just I have full body chills when you said that. I love
But
that.
like that is it. But that is it
I've
for
always
you.
hated that shit. I've always hated it. Like, oh, it's your mask. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds so
But
low vibrational. It sounds
it
like so
does.
fake. It just sounds fake, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
this is the role I'm playing. Like, no.
But again, like we were just talking about how different versions of you like understand things, at different
Yeah.
parts. Because so my rising sign is Cancer, and so when I first had my birth chart read, I was like, oh, I feel like my Cancer, because mother and like
Right.
nurture, blah 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 blah, and it did actually, it felt like a mask. It felt like this was, and then
Well,
she
and
was
then
telling
that's funny because you
me
just said that before too. You were like, I was hiding behind my Cancer.
Mm. Yeah, so when I had, I thought, yeah, the mask does kind of like make sense to me. But as I've dropped that, I'm a bit like, no, it doesn't really ring true anymore. And then I reread a book, and it was about yeah, basically your rising sign is who you're on this evolutionary journey. It's who you're ascending to become this lifetime. And I was like, that's it. That makes so much more sense to me.
I
And
love
so
that.
like so your Aquarius rising, it's like I am, becoming someone who is incredibly like rebellious. Like I'm gonna ask
Always have
why.
been.
I'm here
Yeah.
to, like, with Neptune and Uranus, like in your 12th house, it's like I'm awakening. I'm here as part of this crew to awaken people
Yeah.
spiritually.
No,
And
100%.
also, you would have heard of Pluto has now moved into
Into
Aquarius, which is this
Aquarius
big,
for a while,
they,
right? For like
that
years.
for like 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years.
Yep.
But like right now, like
Fucking go.
in terms of your birth chart, your ascendant, that also has a degree point, is at 2 degrees. That's where Pluto is at the moment, so it's very much like activating that within you. So that will just, Pluto moves, it takes a very long time for it, well, 20 years to move
Yeah,
back
that's a
into
while.
the next sign. But is that significant for you? Like where, because you can look in your birth chart to see, you can look to see where the planets are right now. And then if do you go on astro.com?
Oh
Is
yeah.
that how? Yeah. So you know that you can press the with transits,
Yeah.
yeah, and then see where, what the planets are doing right now and how they're activating your chart. So Pluto that's where it's activating. It's activating this kind of like who you're becoming. Like you're already kind of, that you're growing towards it anyway. But like, I don't know, it just really
It
makes
makes
me so
sense in
fucking
my
excited.
personal life. Yeah, like that
Oh,
makes
really?
me excited.
Okay.
Well, I feel like I've always known this about myself. There's never
Yeah.
one moment, even when I was a kid, that I didn't feel like I was here to shake the fucking mold and ask questions. And I've always been rebellious. I've always challenged everything. But how I feel like it's shifting right now, it's not just as reckless. Like before, it didn't really have, like, my recklessness was just not having like an avenue, not knowing how to channel it correctly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shoving that energy into everything. It doesn't even matter if I really believe I should rebel against that. I'm rebelling against it, everything, anyways, just on principle. Like
You're like, I'm embodying it.
without like really like care behind it. You know what I mean? Like I don't really give a fuck. I don't really even feel that strongly about the thing I'm rebelling against. I'm just kind of recklessly throwing out this Aquarian energy. And then like in my personal relationships, I've always been that person who kind of like brings you to your awakening, but I never like stepped out and like tried to do it on a larger scale, I guess. And I mean, it's not
I
just
mean,
a
and
podcast.
also,
It is one thing, you know, like there's There's a lot of things happening in my life right now that will bring, because I used to think like, oh, I had to be like doing a spiritual thing to do that. No, whatever the fuck I'm doing is gonna do that. I just have to like do it. And I think I'm expanding to a more larger audience and like trying to reach more people. I'm like writing this fucking crazy ass book right now that like I'm like I read it, I'm like, I don't know, this is fucking nuts, you know? Is that my life? Like, are we really gonna publish this shit? Are we gonna do this? And like, you know, I have this.
That's made my heart go. I love that. You also have speaking of like Pluto, which is the planet. Pluto is the planet of transformation. Pluto is linked to Scorpio energy. It's, you know, it again is this Pluto is this planet of it's like a combine harvester type thing. Like it is going to reveal all of the stuff that we don't want to kind of look at or is too taboo. Like people don't really talk about this. It brings it all to the light because it needs to be addressed. You know, it needs to be looked at. And Pluto for you in your chart is on your midheaven. It's on that. Your midheaven is like your legacy line. Like Pluto is on that for you. Like, so that, you know, when you were just talking about that feeling of like, I know that I'm here to like to do something on a big scale, to be seen, you know, that it's all there in your, why the fuck would you put Pluto on your midheaven if you weren't?
I don't know. See,
But this is
it
why.
gives me chills though. I love that validation because I never fucking know why that like.
Yeah, but you just
it just has to be like I've always known that like I'm not gonna have a small fucking role. Like I'm not. I have up until this point, and it's driven me utterly mad at times. But like I don't feel like that's, I don't know. It's like I'm supposed to be seen on a larger scale.
Yeah, but also like, you know, that's very triggering. It's very jarring for people that are like, no, fucking get back in your box.
I know.
Like we're not all meant here to be like big, you know, doing this and it, right. But it goes back to that
egotistical maniac sometimes. Sometimes I literally sound so fucking like full of myself when I say that, and it's like, it's not though. I don't mean it like that. It's just like how
it's your self-belief, and you just, it's like this. No, yeah, it's just. And how many people have that within them, but they don't, like, for instance, they don't have this tool of that, they don't know about their birth chart, they don't have that kind of that like valid, you know, tangible like validation of like, fuck, I fucking knew that. Like when she was like, you know, how I was having my birth chart read, and I felt like literally a shell, like, oh, I literally couldn't see bigger for myself than literally the fucking four walls that I was in. But she was telling me like, I can see you doing this is, and I was just like, what? But then, but like, but the soul of me was like, finally, fucking hell, like, right, let's go.
Yeah, like literally, and your brain's like, no, thank you. I'm hiding behind my Cancer mask and I'm in my shell, and I don't want to fucking come out.
Exactly. But it's it's this back to the North Node. It's like your North Node is out of your comfort zone. Every time when you are shitting yourself about doing something, it's like almost like a true indication of like, well, okay, I'm facing my North Node right now because I'm about to get out of my comfort zone.
Has been so uncomfortable. Everything I've ever done is out of my comfort zone. I like don't even know anything else at this point. When I'm comfortable, I'm like, that's weird. Which is funny because my Taurus really likes comfort, and I've found comfort lately, and I'm like, I don't want to give that up.
Yeah. I guess it's, do you know what? I guess it's somewhere in there is balance a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Of like enjoying,
Exactly. I feel like we all struggle with that, but like me, I can say personally, my greatest struggle in this lifetime has just been balancing anything.
Yeah.
Anything, but I feel like that a lot of people have. We all struggle to balance.
I know balance is hard.
We all contain multitudes, so you know? Like, how do you balance all your multitudes of personalities and strengths and like, and mine are all so fucking strong too. Like there's not like a weak-willed bone in my body.
Yeah. It's all that Aries energy, babe.
She runs the damn show, I'll tell you. The bitch is scary. I'm scared of that side in myself sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, can you just chill? Like,
you know what, I really think that you should do a little bit of like, I don't know if you journal or whatever, but like at some point just go back and think about you as a kid, like, with the Aries moon. I just think there's something in that. Like, I just think it's a really, everyone should do that, because for me it explained a fuck ton
Okay.
of why I am, because I have so my Instagram account is Scorpio Moon Coach.
I saw that. Like,
Yeah, so, and I have this Scorpio moon, and for me, it's like I feel things very fucking deeply, very deeply, and also I'm incredible, like really intuitive. Like, I can sense things without really understanding logically why. And just as a kid, like, I could tell, like, my mum and dad, like, weren't getting, like, they were fine, but I could tell, like, something was, they were getting divorced, or this was happening, or blah, blah, blah. And I could intuitively know that, but people weren't being honest with me, and I knew, do you know what I mean? It was very confusing. And also I felt things deeply, and I had no outlet to express the things that I was feeling very deeply, and it was just, I just squashed it all down. There was nowhere for it to go.
yeah.
And so looking at me as a kid with this Scorpio mean, like, it explains a lot. So I just,
yeah, I can't wait to explore that. My mom's a Scorpio moon. I feel like that explains a fucking lot. But also, like, I just want to say Scorpio energy is like and I just like, is my favorite energy. I like it better than every energy I have running around inside of me. Like Scorpio, you know what my favorite time of the entire year is? Scorpio season. I fucking love that intense.
I wonder if it's like,
Oh,
you love the intensity of it.
I love the intense. I love the death. I love the transformation.
Yes.
I
You've got,
I
well,
want
you've
to
literally,
live inside of that energy for the rest of my life.
yeah. Well, who does? I'm actually, just, this is like so Scorpio thing. So I was like, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to fucking be in there? Like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm here for it. Like, I do it all day long.
You guys get a bad rap though. Other people don't fucking like it. There's like some people who are like, that's a little much for me, and I'm like,
Yeah, because it's intense, and it's like, okay, because I can hold the dark. The amount of people
I
that
want
tell
to
me, like,
swim inside of your darkness for the rest of my life. Like, I love it.
come to me.
Like, fuck your light. I want it. I want your dark. Like, truly, I love that energy. Like, I'm obsessed.
I wonder if, like, there's a pull to that though, because oh, hang on, I'm gonna have to look at your chart. Wait there.
Yeah, look at my chart.
Let me just look, because I just want to.
I am so Scorpio.
Because okay, this makes sense, because Scorpio is in your ninth house. The ninth house is related to Sagittarius. So your ninth house is like, it's, it's travel, it's adventure, but it's also like the things that you're here to teach and share, like your wisdom, and share, like, with other people, and it's your Pluto, I was saying it's on your midheaven, this legacy line, like transformation, like being seen. It's going to be transformative, but it's also like, your Pluto is in Scorpio, so it fucking makes sense that you would be like,
oh yeah, I forgot my
really vibe. Yeah,
I really vibe with it.
Of course, you really vibe with it. So of course,
I'm obsessed. Yeah. And the only person
and it's
dated that I actually liked in my life was a Scorpio. So there you go. I've hated everybody else. Like,
and also with that kind of like Sagittarius energy of, like, because the truth is so, like, you're a seeker of truth.
100%.
Scorpio is like a detective energy. It's like, I'm gonna fucking keep digging until I get to the bottom of what is going on here. I'm not gonna stop.
Yes.
So I wonder if there's something like within that. Oh, I knew we were going to get on. I just like, I was like, oh no, this conversation isn't going to happen because of fucking technology. And it's like,
I mean, you inspired me to keep it going and try. I was like, I don't know. I was so defeated. I was like, it's not going to happen. But then I just, restarted it. I'm so glad it did.
Good.
I needed this conversation. We needed that spark. I'm done. Oh, thanks, Mercury, for not fucking us all up. And
I know it tried to, but we will not be stopped.
We will prevail.
The universe wanted us to have this conversation.
I know, and I didn't want to reschedule it either, because like I won't have this plant baby next week. So
yeah, it's all about the bad job.
About this fucking plant. That's what this fucking thing. Love it. I want to live in this chair. Oh my God.
It's also very like Taurus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, look at my greenery. I'm in a
Yeah.
my jungle. Like, it's fine.
Love it.
So you do coaching. So tell everybody how they can work with you and stuff.
So first, come follow me on Instagram, Scorpio Moon Coach, or on all my, like, if you want to do one-to-one coaching with me, all the details are on my website, which is scorpiomooncoach.co.uk. But I would say the thing that I'm really like passionate about now is on my website, I've just launched a new course, which is this connecting with your soulmate, what I was talking about. And I feel like I ran it live in October, but basically it is you looking at your birth chart, but we're looking at your Venus, your Mercury, your moon, like your Chiron, all of those kind of elements. But then we're also looking at your partners. And just like there's loads of exercises in there to like get this soulmate connection, because like we were saying earlier, like how many of us are just like kind of coasting a bit in our relationship, settling, things aren't we actually want the intimacy and the connection and the depth, but maybe we don't even fucking know what it is that we want. We just know that something's not right, but also we're so fucking busy, and also we're distracted from how it actually is that we're actually feeling. But also it's kind of become the norm that like, oh, we're just, we never have sex, or like we're not really like into each other. Oh, we're just friends now. Like,
I hate how normal it is to hate your partner. Like,
bullshit.
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 It is such crap.
Yeah. And I'm not having it. Not on my watch. So yeah, that is what I'm like I just feel really lit up about that. So I was going to say I'll do a discount code for your listeners if anyone wants to kind of do that. But yeah, come and follow me on Instagram and all of those things, and
get the course.
Yeah.
Because life is too short not to be in a passionate, thriving relationship, or to be single forever like me until you find someone like that.
Yeah. And also it's gonna, and even if you're single, like, and you do that, like, do go through the course and work out what it is that you want and you like really need in a relationship, because like you were saying before, like some of us just have no idea.
Independence, freedom, liberation, understanding, worship. Yeah,
you need to be seen. I need to shine. You need to just.
And I need independence and freedom, and I need you to not fucking smother me. Because if you smother me, I swear to God, I'm going to run so fucking far that you will never find me. So dateable. Should I put that on my dating application? I will fucking run and you will never see me again. It's no wonder I'm fucking single, like, to be honest. Like,
no, they're coming. They're coming.
Well, they better like be ready to handle my wrath of like and fear and pushing them so far away.
Do you know what I found is like the more I look at my birth chart and I work out what it is that I need within a relationship, I'm like, okay, am I doing this? Am I giving this to myself? Am I showing up? Am I showing up for myself in this way? I want somebody else to show up for me this way. Am I doing that for myself? No, I'm not.
Yeah,
so
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I give myself plenty of freedom and independence though, so I'm doing that part.
Okay. Yeah, great.
That's about it. What else did I ask for? I don't remember.
You need to shine. You need someone that's going to just allow you to shine.
I'm still working on that aspect.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Thank you so much. I knew I was going to.
It was such a pleasure. So yeah, everybody go follow you.
Come follow me. Come say hi.
Come say hi.
And I will do. I'll email you a discount code for connecting with your soulmate. It's called
Connecting with Your Soulmate.
Connecting with Your Soulmate. And also remember, like, I really like soulmates come in all like forms. I don't think it's necessarily romantic. It's like this can also have, you know, friendships and things like that. Yeah.
Coworkers. Even
Yes.
boss can be your fucking soulmate because that's like your soul job.
Soul contracts, isn't it? Soul contracts.
Contracts, we have them all everywhere.
I'm actually running a workshop on Thursday. I'm going into this company, and I'm getting like it's 20 of them, and it's like their work's Christmas do, and I'm taking them through like a big three workshop, and I'm going to help them discover all their big three. Then they're going on their Christmas lunch together, so I just think it's like the perfect time to have the conversation.
So good.
And
they're gonna have
I
so
know,
much to talk about.
I'm so like lit up at the
They're
prospect
gonna
of
like
like
connect so deeply after
I
like
know, right? And I'm just like
revelatory lunch. Or you
yeah, it feels like really I'm just like this is where I need to, you know, for me it's more about now going about out in person and like actually just like being like the Leo-ness of like right, I'm gonna be on my, you know, I'm gonna perform a bit and be seen and all of that jazz is happening.
jazz. That's so fun. Okay, I love that. Love that. I want to go perform.
Okay.
I can't wait till I go out and start performing in the world again with whatever I'm doing. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I can't wait to like read your book and everything.
Oh
It's
yeah, I have.
exciting.
You know, it might take a while.
But you're doing it. Do you know how many people just think I'm going to write a book and then it never happens?
I mean, I've published 2 books of poetry so far, but that doesn't fucking count.
You. What do you mean? Why doesn't it count?
That's easy. That's how you can do that.
Are you fucking
I can
kidding
do that
me?
in my sleep. I could publish 2 books of poetry tomorrow without a thought because I have so many poems written. So for me, I could do that in my fucking sleep.
Right.
I guess it's
that. Oh my God.
I know. When I tell people that, they're like, "That's great." I'm like, "Is it?"
Yes. That feels very much like though like the Gemini South Node of just, you know, like the poetry that, you know, all of the ideas, like it's just literally just like flowing out of you, like
100%. The real book.
The Sagittarius bit feels more like, right, this is my like philosophy of life. This is the things I've learned. This is the wisdom. This is like, and I'm putting, do you know what I mean? It's like you're condensing
that's like
it.
what the book I'm writing is like the Sagittarius version. It's like all the lessons.
Yes.
But then it's also really difficult because I've lived so many things that I don't really remember until I start writing about it. And I'm just like, but it's also overwhelming emotionally because all of it has been so fucking traumatic. And just like, I'm not like suffering the internal trauma of that anymore, but like dredging up how horrible like I have been to myself and the violence that I've incurred at my own like hand is just like, it makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
It like physically makes me ill.
So it's so you're being
it's hard.
Yeah, you need to be careful with your energy and like looking after yourself, like as you write it then to just yeah
it hurts. It's not good. But it has to happen. What are we gonna do? I'm never gonna move on with my brain until it's done. So
you need to birth this book.
I have to birth the book. Anyway, so
okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. I loved it.
Do you have any last parting words you want to tell our guesties, like audience?
Go and fucking discover your birth chart if you haven't already. It's a free resource. It's the most like important self-discovery tool, and you need to know. You need to get on that now. There's that also on my Instagram. There's a free resource. You literally sign up, and it's like 5 days, and I kind of take you through your birth chart to help you discover like your sun, your moon, your rising. Like I kind of hold your hand through it. So that's there as well.
Yay!
That's it. That's me.
Well, thank you for coming, and thank you everybody
for having me.
And everyone subscribe and follow us all. And I love all you little listener lovelies.
The Layla Show.